Welcome to the Send Talk podcast, your easy to understand guide to some of the most common queries we get asked when it comes to special educational needs and disabilities, or SEND. I'm your host, Vic Elizabeth Turnbull, and together with SENDIASS Manchester, the city's information, advice and support service for SEND, we'll empower you to make informed decisions for you or your child. You'll hear from the SENDIASS Manchester team, and they'll join me online for a chat. This episode is part of our FAQ, or Frequently Asked Question, series of the Send Talk podcast. In these shorter episodes, we get straight to the point and answer the most common and very specific questions we get asked here at SENDIASS Manchester. And joining me for these episodes is Laura Nardella, an advisor at SENDIASS Manchester.
Thanks, Vic. Hi, I'm Laura. And just to let you know, for more information about everything we talk about in this episode, simply head to our website, sendiassmanchester.org.
So what's the big question for this episode, Laura?
Well, Vic, this is one that we get asked a lot from parents contacting our service. It's about a notice of consideration letters from the local authority or from the EHCP team. And parents call us asking, why has the local authority sent me this letter? What are they asking me to do?
So let's start at the very beginning. What is a notice of consideration letter?
Well, when a request for an education healthcare needs assessment is sent, and that could either be from the parent or from the school, the local authority will send the notice of consideration letter back. And basically what they're doing is they're confirming they've received the request, they are considering it, and they usually state they have up to a maximum of 6 weeks to decide whether or not they will go ahead with the assessment.
That seems pretty straightforward to me. So what causes the confusion?
Well, it's what's in the letter. So the letter says, we confirm we've received the request, we're considering it. And then there's a bit in the letter saying, and now send us the information we need to make our decision. This is confusing for parents because usually what happens is that when the EHC needs assessment request goes in, the parent or the school has sent every single bit of information through already.
Ah, right. So parents are thinking, I've sent all the information. Why are you asking me for more? Why are you asking for it? What's going on?
Absolutely. And that's when they ring us and they feel really confused and sometimes really quite concerned. The usual concerns are, oh my goodness, the local authority have sent me this letter because they've lost all my information or they don't have it. And so obviously they're really worried. Or they think I've sent all this information and yet they're asking me for information. So there's more that I should be sending. And then they're concerned and worried and they think, what is it? Or they feel that they've sent the information, but perhaps it's not the right information. And then parents worry about that. So they call us to advise them about what's been missed off.
So what's your advice then?
Well, the first bit of advice is don't worry. The local authorities send this letter and make this request for a reason. They are legally obliged to notify you, the parent, that an assessment is being considered. And they also have to give you the opportunity as a parent to provide more information. So the letter doesn't mean they haven't received it or it's wrong or it's incomplete. It's just that they are legally obliged to make that request.
Why is there a legal obligation?
Well, if you kind of think about it, there's quite a few reasons for that. So if you're 99% of the people who have sent everything in, then you might be confused about it. But there are different reasons why they would have to ask. So if a parent puts in a request for an EHC needs assessment, all they really need to do is put that in writing. So the local authority can never assume that all the information has been sent. So it's only fair of them to ask the parents to send more information. Or if the school have put in the request, again, the local authority can't assume that all the information has been sent. So this is them giving the parent the opportunity to say, is there anything else in there that we should know, that we should consider before making our decision? So basically, that's the first point. They can't assume all the information was sent with the initial request. The second reason is there could be quite a significant change in circumstance with the child or young person. So they want to be up to date. They want to have all the most up-to-date information so they can make a correct decision. And the third reason is that sometimes parents are waiting for information. The EHC needs assessment request goes in, and perhaps there's a report that hasn't been finished in time. So that's the opportunity that you have as a parent to then say, oh yes, this report, we were waiting for this report, and then you can send it to the local authority. So they won't go ahead with making a decision without all your information. The fourth reason is there could be new information. So perhaps you may have spoken to a SENDIASS worker and realized that actually there's a bit of information that you should have sent with your request that you didn't really realize at the time. And so this is your opportunity to send that extra bit of information. So you get another chance to give more information to the local authority or the EHCP team. And that helps them make a full and fair decision with all the available information.
So, Laura, after all that, what's the takeaway for the parent listening?
The first thing is, don't worry. Your information isn't lost and it's not incomplete. I hope that listening to the podcast has reassured you and allowed you to understand a little bit about why this letter has been sent out. If you have sent everything or the school has sent everything, then just don't worry about it. But it does give another chance to think, is there anything else I want to send? Consider it. And then if there isn't, then don't worry about it. And if there is something that you do want to send, make sure you send it in a timely way. Don't forget that the local authority have 6 weeks from the date of the request to make their decision. So if you know that something's coming, I would advise that you contact the EHCP case coordinator and let them know that you'll be sending something. And that could just be as easy as the occupational therapist is finished with their assessment. The report will be ready next week. Just letting you know that as soon as that report is ready, I'm going to be emailing it over to you so they know it's coming.
Brilliant. So the action plan is you don't really need to do anything.
No, that's the best advice in the world, isn't it? Don't do anything. You can be relaxed, file the letter away, but only if you know that you've sent everything. And just be aware that the next letter from the local authority will be their decision letter on whether or not they are going to assess. But we won't go into that now because that's a whole other podcast.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Laura. Absolutely brilliant information.
Thanks, Vic.
So if our listener, our parent wants to find out more information, where can they head to?
You can find information about this and lots of other things on our website, which is sendiassmanchester.org.
I'm really enjoying doing these FAQ episodes, Laura. It is condensed information, straight to the point, and I'm really looking forward to doing the next one with you.
Do you have a question for us that you'd like us to answer on a future edition of the Frequently Asked Questions Send Talk podcast? If you do, we'd absolutely love to hear from you. Please send your question along with your name to our email, which is sendiass@manchester.gov.uk. And the email address is included in the show notes as well.
It certainly is. Thanks, Laura.